Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Hamilton-Wenham Regional Class of 2026. Good morning, parents, families, faculty, administration, school committee members, Superintendent Tracy, and most importantly, the incredible class of 2026. When I was thinking about what to say to you today, one word kept coming back: balance. In high school, we talk a lot about balance in the literal sense, like trying to balance academics, sports, jobs, and a social life. But this class took balance to an entirely different level. You proved that you can balance tradition with innovation. You were, after all, the first class ever to share a junior-senior prom and the very first to take the field and play on our new turf fields. Finding balance isn't always easy. It requires an incredible amount of leadership. I want to personally thank your outstanding class officers, Evie Bernard, Natalia Yun, Samantha Nevins, Emily McIntosh, Cameron McIntosh, Maddie Graber, Grayson Minnick, and Kevin Spoon. They spent years mastering the ultimate balancing act, listening to all of your opinions while keeping us moving forward. We saw that exact dynamic play out during this year's great senior class t-shirt debate. We had Samantha, who was very opinionated about the specific style and feel of the fabric. On the other end of the spectrum, we had Kevin calmly saying, "Just get cotton." And Grayson chiming in with, "Who cares?" That is the definition of balance right there. True balance is also about knowing when to work hard and when to give your all for school spirit. Think back to our Spirit Weeks, where Taylor Apt, Luke Chapdelaine, Patrick Driscoll, and Danielle Murray poured their hearts into designing those incredible Spirit Week boards. They brought to life everything from the Fighting Freshmen, the Lorax, to Winter Wonderland and Japan. Our arts department provided another perfect picture of balance. We watched Penelope Bellucci, Liam Gainey, and Emily Logeman command the stage in Chicago, supported flawlessly by the quiet, tireless work of our production crew, Alita Carr, Megan Logeman, Catherine Walsh, Claire Adler, and Ian Swanson. Then there's Emmett Bouchard, who balanced his role as artist in residence, making clay sculptures for the entire faculty and dedicating countless hours to designing our class mural. Finally, Marie Siebert showed us balance of a different kind, pairing the delicate grace of her traditional Thai dance with the grit required to enlist in the United States Marine Corps. Sometimes balance means stepping entirely out of your comfort zone. It's Liam Gainey loudly lamenting that he didn't want to go on the class hike because he didn't have the proper footwear, but going anyway, loving it, and bringing a massive smile to everyone's face. It's Kira Stein, balancing concussion recovery with an intense competitive drive, spinning around on a scooter board during Spirit Week playing Hungry Hungry Hippos. Sorry, Mr. and Mrs. Stein. It's about balancing individual achievements with collective joy. We watched Jonas D'Arrigo take the stage at the DECA International Conference, placing in the top 20 students of the world. We cheered on Savannah Gorin, who balanced curating what might possibly be the most perfect playlist of music during her B-Block shop class, and then a massive victory in this year's amphibious vehicle races. It's about knowing when to step up, like Ray Manuel taking over cafeteria karaoke, Joe Purrington absolutely crushing it as the homecoming DJ, and Paul Jung stepping up to belt out The Greatest Showman. It's Isabel Westcott bravely being among the very first group of students to hit the dance floor at our historic first junior-senior prom, showing everyone else it was okay to dance. Perhaps the greatest lesson in balance came this year when we faced our toughest challenge yet, giving up our phones. It was met with utter dismay, but look what happened when we lost the digital world. We found each other. Cafeteria conversations became abundant. We actually talked in person. And at one particular lunch table, you could find Alex King, Red Herzog, Jonathan Kalbach, Robert Hamilton, and Alan Peng, locked in fierce, high-stake battles of Uno. There are simply too many accomplishments to list today. I could truly say something about each and every one of you, but I promised Mr. Menegoni I would stick to my time limit. This class didn't just participate, you excelled at DECA, History Fair, HOSA, sports, band, choir, theater, and countless clubs. Yet you balanced all that personal success by giving back. You came together when our community needed you. Class of 2026, as you step out into the world, life is going to demand a lot of you. It will ask you to balance ambition with rest, serious work with lighthearted play, and looking forward to the future while staying present in the moment. If your time in high school has proven anything, it's that you already know how to hold that balance perfectly. Keep smiling through the hikes, keep dancing on the empty dance floors, and never stop talking to one another. Congratulations.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to graduation. My name is Brian Menegoni, and I have the great honor of serving as principal of Hamilton-Wenham Regional High School. This particular class holds an incredibly special place in my heart. having known many of these students since their elementary school days. Watching their journey culminate here today, with them ready to take their next step into the world, is nothing short of amazing. Today we gather not just to witness a graduation, but to celebrate everything the class of 2026 has accomplished as a family. Together, they have supported, challenged, and helped one another grow into exceptional young adults. I could not be prouder of the resilience, character, and spirit they have shown. Within this outstanding group are individuals who have truly gone above and beyond. It is now my absolute pleasure to introduce the first of these student leaders, our class of 2026 salutatorian, Isla Finn.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Isla Finn, and I'm so honored to have the privilege of speaking today. I first want to express my deepest gratitude to the family, friends, teachers, and mentors of my fellow graduates. I speak on behalf of the class of 2026 in saying we wouldn't have made it to this momentous occasion without you all. So thank you. As some of you may know, I've been doing gymnastics for over 10 years. Growing up in the sport of gymnastics taught me to view life as a numbers game, that success came from doing more. If conditioning didn't make you sore the next day, you weren't working hard enough. If you sat down during practice, you were lazy. If you took days off, you weren't dedicated, and if you didn't put in the extra work outside of the 20 hours in the gym each week, you didn't want it badly enough. These were the reminders I carried with myself daily. Every day, the goal was to keep busy no matter what, whether that was doing extra drills or visualizing in between turns, or finding extra conditioning, in order to maximize every second of those daily 4 hours in the gym. In this sport, there's always something to be done. Resting started to feel like wasted time. Now, gymnastics has been one of the greatest gifts throughout my childhood and adolescence, also teaching me strength, resilience, bravery, and discipline. But upon reflecting on some of the ideals I learned to value from it, I began to draw parallels outside of the sport. High school has felt like a numbers game at times too. Especially as many of us went through the college admissions process this year, it was easy to get caught up in the game of who's done the most. Often we're praised for taking the most APs and honors classes, having the most extracurriculars, the best GPA, the highest SAT score, and being involved in as many clubs, sports, and opportunities as possible. But at some point, I learned to equate my value with how much I could produce. That being busy meant being successful, and that if I was capable of doing more, I should always be doing more. If I wasn't achieving something, was I doing enough? Yet I've learned that this is often where progress actually stalls, where doing too much leads to diminished returns. I realized that the obsession with constant productivity of this high achievement culture doesn't align long-term with the results it demands. Eventually, this mindset will almost always yield counterproductive results. Of course, we should have ambition, discipline, and big goals. But as we move into this next chapter of our lives, I think what matters just as much is learning how to sustain ourselves. Learning where the line between dedication and depletion lies, where effort becomes wasted energy, and where productivity drops into burnout. So as we leave high school and enter the real world, a world that will seem to constantly ask us to do more, achieve more, and become more, I hope we can also remember to be human, something I am still working on reminding myself to be daily. To me, this means resting without guilt, asking for help when needed, and leaving room for joy, connection, fear, and failure, and understanding that being busy doesn't always equal productivity. Just because we could be doing more doesn't mean we aren't already doing enough. Regardless of where life takes each of us after today, I have confidence that we are all capable of not only achieving great things, but of building meaningful, sustainable, and fulfilling lives. Because ultimately, our success is not defined by how much we can produce, but by how fully we allow ourselves to grow, flourish, and experience life. Congratulations to the class of 2026, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Isla. And now I'm very pleased to introduce our valedictorian, Emma Clefty.
Thank you, Mr. Menegoni. Good morning. I'm honored to be standing before you all today. Graduates, friends, families, and faculty members, thank you for being here. Framed in my room is a drawing of me done by my dad, and it was me who suggested he draw it at a parents' night in 3rd grade. I'm facing him in the drawing, and in it he captures the subtlest of details. I'm brought back to the very moment he drew it, and I recall how absorbed he was, not noticing the group of students that had swarmed around us to watch him draw me. And I also remember the smile he gave me when handing me the finished drawing. His hands that were once accustomed to doing art now tirelessly operate a machine, performing the same monotonous tasks each day. Over 20 years ago, both my parents moved to the United States from Albania on green cards. I'm here to honor their sacrifices and to give purpose to them. Neither of their college degrees were transferable to the United States. No employer would accept their degrees, and so they were stuck doing jobs they were overqualified for and couldn't get the jobs that they used to have. And so they started from nothing, knew no one, hardly spoke English, despite them both speaking several other languages. I've seen them come home each night, exhausted, doing jobs for the sake of having security. My dad, with a college degree in art, has to work long shifts at a job that doesn't give him any satisfaction. Similarly, my mom, with a degree in accounting, had taken on a full-time job at a supermarket when she first arrived, all the while balancing night college classes to get a degree that could be recognized and of use here. I had thought it was daunting when I first came to the school. Being a school choice student, I hadn't known anyone, nor did I know much about the area. When I now think of my parents coming to the United States, I know that I could never begin to imagine what it was like for them, having to leave everything behind and having to lose parts of their identity to assimilate. Coming here, both of them hoped to build on the lives they had before and to seek out opportunities for their children. I hope to be at least half the person that each of them is. Both of my parents have an unwavering commitment to our family, and the sacrifices they make are because of the unconditional love that they have for us. Rather than using words of affirmation, my parents make sure to pay attention to what brings us joy and to make us feel comfortable and cared for. The care they give us extends beyond our own family. When I was younger, we would often take families into our small apartment that had recently immigrated to the United States, expecting nothing in return. And it often entailed me and my brother having to give up our rooms and move over to the living room to accommodate them. My parents are always giving everything they can. And because they've given so much, I'd like to do my part in giving back what they've lost. Maybe one day I can guide my dad back to doing art, and we can adorn our house with pieces of his artwork. And I also want to honor all the parents here, not just the immigrant parents, but all of you who have sacrificed for your children in some way and have brought them to where they are now. And so thank you all, and especially thanks to both my parents, Nidita Gashi and Irma Klefti. Thank you.
Thank you, Isla and Emma. Over the past 4 years, you have quietly modeled what excellence looks like in our community. Thank you both for your leadership. I have no doubt you will create amazing opportunities for yourselves while continuing to make the world a better place. Today, I'm up here wearing 3 hats. First and foremost, as your principal, I look out with pride at the exceptional group of young adults you have become. I'm also the parent of a graduating senior today, a young man who I am proud of and love more than anything. Finally, for many of you, I've had the privilege of being a bystander for most of your childhoods. I'm trying my best not to become a puddle up here. It's not going great. Just like your parents in the audience today, I can't help but be amazed how time moves so fast. It doesn't feel like that long ago we were waiting at the bus stop with you during elementary school and driving you all over the North Shore. Now that you have a driver's license, you really have no need for us. Unless you want money. We accompanied you on field trips to Appleton Farms, the Boston Symphony, and Plymouth Plantation. And then only a month ago, many of you were thousands of miles away in Spain and Taiwan. We were there with you at the socially awkward 5th grade and 8th grade dances, when you just wanted us to go away. And then a week ago, you seemed to be happy taking pictures with us at Patton Park before you headed off to prom. Our time together on fields and courts during the seemingly endless hours of youth sports has turned into your opportunity to shine now as generals competing for state championships. And we certainly can't leave out the many concerts, musicals, plays, and dance competitions that showed over the years how talented you are. As parents, we can't believe how fast time has passed by. Quietly, I think each of us wishes we had a little more time with you. To be clear, we are talking about the you that you are today, right now, not the 9th grade you. Now, when I step back a bit and think about this class as a whole, one word comes to mind: growth. I remember the first kindergarten open house we attended as parents when Miss Page, looking shell-shocked and exhausted, said, "This is the most challenging group of students I have ever had." I thought at that moment, wonderful, the next 13 years will be tons of fun, and I can't wait till I get to high school. And you didn't disappoint right away, as you were a spirited bunch all the way through elementary school. In middle school, sleepovers started to consume most weekends. Our own house became a revolving door for a group of young men intent on raiding our pantry and refrigerator, leaving a trail of wrappers and empty Diet Coke bottles all over the place, and making our house smell like an unventilated locker room. This trend continued right into the early years of high school. Whenever I heard the phrase, "friends are sleeping over," I knew exactly what the house would look like the next morning. It was hard to envision from this limited perspective where the class of 2026 would wind up after 4 years of high school. Then, something happened towards the end of 10th grade and the start of junior year. It felt like an awakening where the members of this class started to find their true interests, challenge themselves in the classroom, and assume important leadership roles across the school. And you did so in a quiet and unassuming manner. This humility is a hallmark of your class. I look at each of you now, so proud of who you have become and the hard work you've put in over the past 4 years. And if I had to come up with a metaphor for this class, you know where I landed? Bamboo. Now, what does that mean, bamboo? Do I see you as a bunch of tall green sticks? Probably not. Are you about to be devoured by oversized rabid pandas? No, I don't think so. When a bamboo seed is planted, it doesn't sprout after 1 year, or even 2. It takes 3 years before it finally shoots out of the ground, growing to over 90 feet tall in a matter of weeks. Your class has achieved great things, but it couldn't have happened without those first years of underground growth. While you were down there, unseen, you were establishing a massive root system built of character, courage, confidence, and connection. Because that foundation was strong, you absolutely took off these last 2 years. We see the evidence of that growth today in the ways you have become the leaders of our school, ambassadors for our community, and in the amazing places you are headed off to. This class has done exceptionally well. You should be incredibly proud of what you have accomplished, both personally and together, and we can't wait to see where those roots take you next. My advice, if you want it, is to keep watering the bamboo. Trust the process, even if it feels like nothing is happening on the surface. Life will not get easier, I'm sorry to say, but you have developed the strength and resilience to meet any challenge. You have spent years building a foundation that cannot be shaken and established a network of roots that will always keep you grounded. It is those exact roots that connect you to this place and why you have made all of us, as a school, a community, and for some of us as parents, so deeply proud. Please don't be strangers. This will always be a home for you. Come back and visit us often. Just maybe don't show up in my living room at 4:45 in the morning. I can't really guarantee how that will go next time. Congratulations to the class of 2026. Thank you for all you've done. We love you, and go Generals.
Bamboo, I wasn't sure where that was going. Whew. Good morning, everyone. My name is Eric Tracy. I'm the superintendent of schools and proud to be here today with our graduates. We owe a debt of gratitude to the parents, families, and guardians who have navigated this unique but transformative path alongside the members of the class of 2026. Also, we appreciate the trust you've placed in our dedicated staff and faculty as they've guided your children towards the upcoming chapters of their lives. One of the greater realities of our lives, well demonstrated by this class, is that we always need human connection. Not just hello and goodbye types of connections, although that's a start, but deep, meaningful connections that continue to grow and help you grow and learn as an individual. One of the many strengths of this school district has always been the connections forged over the years. I noticed this on Thursday when our seniors went back to their elementary schools. At the Bucher, where I hung out, they marched into the building to the cheers from our littlest learners and immediately went to see their teachers. As I listened to the speeches at candlelight, it was clear that those connections were still very strong. Emily spoke about how the 108 prepared you to connect, to find your place, and to make unfamiliar places feel like home. Natalia leaned into showing up. She said, "Every time I show up, no matter the place or the time, there was always a familiar face from the class of 2026. Your next challenge will be to expand the 108 to infinity by continuing to make those strong connections and to show up. Building and maintaining strong relationships and bonds will be the best way to navigate the realities of your life outside of the Hamilton-Wenham Regional School District. After all, the world outside of these little towns, quality connections are how things happen, how you get ahead, how you grow, and most importantly, what type of person you turn out to be." As you wind down from all of the graduation excitement next week, I urge you to take a moment to listen to those candlelight speeches one more time. To close out, I'd like to echo the sentiment of our candlelight speaker, Lucine Ravette. She said, "A support system like the one our class found is incredibly hard to find. I believe it has set an example for the kinds of communities we should strive to foster in our futures. Your job will be to make the 108, 1,008, then 1,000,008, and keep growing the love and friendships you have shared these last 4 years. On behalf of the faculty and staff of this amazing school district, we wish you the best of luck as you step off into the next segment of your journey. Remember, 108, we will always be here for you because Hamilton-Wenham Regional School District relationships and connections last a lifetime. Once a general, always a general." Thank you. And now, Mr. Menegoni, the reason we're really all here today. By the authority vested in me by the state of Massachusetts and the Hamilton-Wenham Regional School Committee, I certify that the members of the Hamilton-Wenham Regional High School class of 2026 assembled before us today have met all of the requirements of the state of Massachusetts and the school district and are eligible to receive a diploma today.
Thank you, Mr. Tracy. Now it's my pleasure to welcome Sue Howland, co-advisor for the senior class, as she joins us for the awarding of diplomas.
Claire Eleanor Adler. Taylor Michelle Brady Apt. Wyatt Henry Arvanites. Lila Lauren Ashwood. Emma Shaw Babcock. Ava Antonina Bond. Emmanuel Beryl Bawa. Penelope Joy Bellucci. Evelyn Anderson Bernard. Maxwell Bernardi. Liam Morgan. Alexander Hall Boardman. Emmett R. Bouchard. Justice Walker Bauer. Robert Francis Bazargian. Justin Riding Bradley. Elizabeth Elise Brown. Margot Jennifer Bryce Morris. Annalise Dawn Bubar. Noah Charles Burnside. Charlie Kent Byers. Chase Robert Can. Alita Noel Carr. Luke Sawyer Chapdelaine. Finnegan Charles Churchill. Carol Caroline Helea Cirillo. Coriana Wailea Coleman. Jonas Cameron Diarigo. Patrick Daniel Driscoll. Evelyn Rose Dury. Morgan Ashley Etna. Reese Catherine Fabrizio. Seamus Robert Kikoa Farrell. Ryan Thomas Fazio. Benjamin Max Alexander Filipov. Savannah May Gorin. Liam Finn Gainey. Lily Lorraine Giovanucci. Grace Amalia May Glidden. Anand Shah Gorley. Madeline Elliott Graber. Hobie James Greaves. Kaylee Veronica Green. Joshua Edward Greenspawn. Logan Scott Guitar. Griffin Scott Hawkins. Cormac McGinn Heaney. Red Herzog. Jillian McClellan Horner. Joseph David Hughes. Haley Locke Ireland. Gabriella Mary Jewett. Patrick Zohua G. Paul Juyang Jung. Jonathan Robert Kalbach. Alexander David King. Brady Robert Lannon. Natalia Lazaridou. Kate Aubrey Leonard. Emily June Logeman. Megan Elise Logeman. Kayla Grace Mayhouse. Cameron Thomas McIntosh. Emily Rose McIntosh. Nathan Michael McPhail. Alexander Wayne Menegoni. Gavin Gregory Meyer. Aubrey Rose Michelizzi. Grayson Peter Minnick. Augustus Robert Mitchell. Luke William Molitano. Andreas Michael Morera. Molly Beth Mosher. Danielle Cassidy Murray. Samantha Lauren Nevins. Matthew Jack Go. Madison Reese Novak. Jacob Michael O'Brien. Claire Madeline O'Toole. Alan Peng. Charles Benjamin Prier. Joseph Braden Purrington. Lana Elise Romy Rendazzo. Lucine Marie Rivette. Avery Nancy Grace Ring. Ray Manuel Santiago. Meyer Samuel Sholnick. Caden James Schrock. Marissa Julia Siebert. Jacoby Rahman Shea. Rowan Grace Shekels. Kevin Joseph Spoon. Jane Evrard Starr. Kira Grace Stein. Nicholas William Stein. Ian Gabriel Swanson. Rory Colin Taylor. Avery Malcolm Vihinen. Owen Christopher Waddell. Catherine Eleanor Rose Walsh. Isabel May Westcott. Annika Walker Wilgren. Mal Tivi Yen. Natalia Yun. Isla Jameson Kim Finn. Emma Clefty.
Faculty, staff, family, and members of the Hamilton-Wenham community, it is my great honor to present to you the graduates of Hamilton-Wenham Regional High School class of 2026. And now please join me in welcoming class of 2026 President Evie Bernard to the stage.
Good morning, friends, family, faculty, staff, and my fellow graduates. My name is Evie Bernard, and after serving as class president, it is such an honor to deliver today's commencement speech. Thank you all for being here today to celebrate this milestone. Many of my friends already know this story, but for those of you that don't, I was in a car accident this past February. Before anyone asks, no, nobody was hurt, and although I will probably go to my grave believing it was not entirely my fault, I would still like to formally apologize to my parents for their insurance rates. One of my best friends, Samantha, and I were on our way to our ski race at Bradford when, before we knew it, we were being T-boned while taking a left turn. In retrospect, I may have been moving a little too quickly and not taking enough time to slow down and really look up at what was coming towards us. As frightening as that experience was, and despite the fact that I lost a significant amount of driving credibility, it taught me something important. As we move into this next chapter of our lives, I encourage all of you to slow down and look around. Life moves fast. As we all know, these past 4 years of high school have passed in what feels like a blink. It's important to appreciate the moments we still have together and to remain present as we move forward. Don't get so focused on what comes next that you miss what is happening right in front of you. If you're anything like me, very type A, always planning ahead, always early, always wanting everything to be perfect, it can be easy to treat life like one big rush. But some of the most meaningful moments happen when we pause long enough to notice them. Be aware of your surroundings, be curious, and be present. And when things do go wrong, because eventually they will, it is how you respond to them that reveals your true character. For me, that meant going straight to the ski race after the crash. And somehow, Samantha and I still made it with 5 minutes to spare. As a highly competitive person, there was no chance I was going to let a car accident stop me from racing that day. Life will inevitably throw unexpected challenges at all of us. What matters most is that we continue moving forward, choose resilience over self-doubt, trust yourself, and don't allow setbacks to define who you are. Finally, thank the people around you. The support Samantha and I received after that crash reminded me just how fortunate we are to be part of a community like Hamilton Wenham. Sometimes we take for granted how deeply supportive and caring this community truly is. So this is my thank you to my family, my friends, our teachers, the administration, my coaches, and everyone who made these past 4 years unforgettable. Thank you for everything. Our class is truly something special, and I could not be more proud of everything we have accomplished together. Congratulations, class of 2026.